Why do you like to be alone? I can be myself. I never know which version of myself I am when I have to socialize. I always feel terrible afterwards and scrutinize what I said or did. I feel mentally discombobulated. When I am alone, there's no stress. I like myself more. In my opinion, it is nice to be alone every now and then, as it is allowing you to self-reflect and enjoy some quality time with yourself. However, in a more permanent level, I have seen it wrecking my mood and leading me to a state close to depression. Balance does the trick for me. I live alone, and in my apartment I can do what I want, when I want, however I want. The complete freedom to have a day with no plans and then to spend that day doing as much or as little as I want. No obligations to anyone that I don't make for myself. Spending a lot of time alone is a really good way to learn a lot about who you are, without influence from other people and their opinions or perception of you. I've been living alone for over 2 years, but for the past 9 months of being single and, mostly, not dating, I've realized how much I am capable of enjoying my own company. Doctor, the freedom and amount of time I can spend focusing on myself is why I like to be alone. One of the best times I've ever had was 5 years ago when I took a solo vacation for 5 days. I didn't care one bit that it was in Chicago in January. Actually, I just considered it part of the adventure. What mattered was that it was all about me and what I felt like doing. Was there anyone to whine about getting cold and tired when I wanted to walk around the city and explore all day? Nope. Was there anyone to disagree about where to eat dinner? Nope. Anyone who didn't feel like getting up at 6 a.m. to walk down the street for breakfast? Nope. Anyone to judge me the day I ordered pizza and stayed in my hotel room watching TV until 3 in the afternoon? Nope. Was there anyone who cared about going there with no agenda and only a list of places I wanted to eat? Nope. There wasn't even a person who thought it was silly or dumb for talking to strangers, such as the homeless lady at Starbucks who introduced herself as Priscilla Presley. Hands down, the best thing about being alone is not having to worry about compromising with anyone else's wants or demands. Totally agree. But don't get used to it. I'm going on 8 years living alone, and I've grown so comfortable that I went from some interest to absolutely no interest in dating and finding someone. I just can't be bothered. It's too easy being single. Solitude is comforting. When I'm alone, I don't have to be scared to be myself, and I don't have to pretend I'm feeling fine all the time. This is such a good explanation. People who don't get it always wonder what introverted people do that make them enjoy solitude. Nothing. It's not about what you do when you're alone, it's about how being alone makes you feel. For me anyway, like you said, I am in a constant state of calm and peace. I don't have to think about anyone else or think about what I should say. I am just me. In the present moment. Calm and self-aware and happy. Because it's nice to be alone with your thoughts and enjoy alone time. Definitely agree. I don't feel as if I truly processed new information or circumstances until I've been alone. My friends are annoying sometimes. It's good to take breaks. I like to rotate around. It's quiet. The older I get, the more I hate ruckus. I don't even think it's an age thing. For me, it's just noisy day after noisy day adds up, and I just can't take any more useless blabbing on about completely unrelated drivel, and sometimes it's all just too much. It gets to the point I can't even focus on what I'm doing, no matter how important it is. I hate being the person that lashes out and disappears, but it's just too much. It is the least stressful condition to be in. I will never understand codependent people. Being alone is the one time you can literally do what you want and completely be yourself. No one to shoot down your plans and no hearing opinions from people. Alone time is bliss. I am never, ever bored when I'm by myself. I can sit around and think, read, do the work or hobbies I love, hang with my dogs. I guess I'm not alone anymore when I'm with them, but it feels endless what I can do. With other people I'm often bored. If I'm making small talk, or just trying to engage them for politeness or kindness. I mean, I still enjoy many interactions and situations with other people, but alone wins. I do especially like hanging out with my boyfriend, but we do that together but each doing our own thing. I used to be so insecure about being alone. I was in relationships from 18 to 25, and even when I was single I had a companion I would spend all my time with. I couldn't imagine being alone and thought I would be a loser if someone wasn't in love with me. Insecure as hell. My last relationship ended really badly, partly his fault, probably mostly mine. I just went into a depression and stayed in bed for months. Then as I emerged I realized I'm actually enjoying being on my own. Sure, it's nice having someone to talk about everything with, but it's so much easier, so just do the things you actually enjoy. Maybe I'm too alone now, but damn, it's fucking nice being a lazy asshole, fucking nice adopting cats like I always wanted to, gaming and watching what I want, not feeling pressured to have a big social life when I'm bundled with anxiety. I refuse to start dating again till I'm like minimum 30. And even then I don't think I want the crazy idea of feeling love. I want someone I actually get along with and can trust without any doubts. People are exhausting. I tend to believe all people have two gas tanks. One that can only be filled up by the company of those you truly connect with, and one that can only be filled up by time alone. And they are different sizes for different people. Indeed, as Murakami wrote, in this world, there are things you can only do alone, and things you can only do with somebody else. It's important to combine the two in just the right amount. That reminds me of this quote. I tend to believe all people have two gas tanks. One that can only be filled up by the company of those you truly connect with, and one that can only be filled up by time alone. And they are different sizes for different people. I used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is ending up with people who make you feel all alone. In fact, I love to be alone. I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. Believe me, loneliness adds beauty to life. It puts a special burn on sunsets and makes night air smell better. Robin Williams. I hate the stress of having to constantly be present in mind when I'm with other people. I love being able to space out and sit in silence and just be in my own head. I constantly space out in public because I am the same and just don't love chatting/mingling. My best friend can always tell when I'm mentally checked out and brings me back to reality. I don't have to worry about other people. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Right now I'm planning on getting dressed and taking a leisurely stroll through the park, smoke a joint and get a taco. No time frame, I'll get there when I get there, I'll get back when I get back. Then I'll do whatever I want for the rest of the night. Alternatively, last time I was at my friend's and they had the radio on and it was the worst fucking station around. I've always been that way. Would rather enjoy my own company for countless hours than be around people and feel the need to leave after a while. Edit. Brew, why has this blown up? Thanks for 10,000 upvotes. I am just like you, but my parents are always forcing me to stay longer than I feel comfortable and I end up hating hanging out with my friends. Any tips to hang out willingly more often? Because I don't like small talk and I don't like loud people. So I can fart in peace. I'm a mix between an introvert and an extrovert. I like spending time and talking to other people, but I can only recharge my energy when I am alone. So if I have to socialize for 2 to 3 days in a row, I would make an effort to spend the next day completely alone to get back into good headspace, because I get tired from socializing. I like to be alone with my thoughts. I am a deep thinker and like to have time to figure things out on my own. I am my own best friend. I don't have to explain or justify myself to anyone else. I can do what I like, with whom I like. If I want to play on my PS4 for 20 hours, there is no one telling me to stop. Having been married then divorced for nearly 40 plus years, being on my own is a blast. I also just love being at home. I don't miss working. as that was very stressful being around people and all that entails. Now I can invite people into my space when I want to. Being retired is the most awesome thing. What about you? Do you like to be alone? Leave a comment. And subscribe to this channel if you wanna see more same videos.